Every day you face challenges. Some are big, some are small, some seem impossible. But here's the truth. You don't have time for excuses. You don't have time to sit back, blame others, or wait for the perfect moment. Success, progress, and victory come from one simple thing: getting it done. No excuses, just results. Today, I'm going to lay it out clearly. If you want to achieve, if you want to win, if you want to be the best version of yourself, there's only one thing that matters: taking action. And that means no excuses. Taking ownership of your actions is the cornerstone of personal and professional growth. The idea is simple. You are in control of your own life. No one else dictates your path. Life doesn't wait for you to be ready. It doesn't care about the obstacles you face. The sooner you realize that success or failure is a direct result of your decisions and actions, the faster you'll begin to take control of your future. Excuses may sound good in the moment, but they don't change anything. They don't move you forward. They only hold you back. When you own your actions, you stop looking outside yourself for answers. Instead of blaming the environment, the people around you, or the circumstances for your situation, you focus on what you can do. You recognize that your results are directly tied to your own efforts and decisions. This shift in mindset is the key to overcoming challenges. It's easy to blame external factors when things go wrong. It's easy to say, "It wasn't my fault." But the truth is, you can't control other people, and you can't control everything that happens to you. What you can control is how you respond. And that response determines the direction of your life. One of the most powerful things you can do for yourself is to stop pointing fingers. When something goes wrong, the natural reaction is often to look for someone or something to blame. This is where many people get stuck. They spend so much energy on the reasons they can't succeed, rather than focusing on what they can do to make things work. Instead of saying, "It was the economy," or "My boss didn't give me the resources I needed," ask yourself, what could I have done differently? What could I do now to turn things around? The answers to these questions lie within you. By taking ownership, you break free from the cycle of external blame and take control of your own future. Ownership also means accepting the consequences of your actions, whether positive or negative. If you succeed, take responsibility for that success. Own your achievements and the hard work that got you there. But if you fail, don't try to hide behind excuses. Learn from your mistakes. Understand where things went wrong and what you could do differently next time. This is what separates those who rise to the top from those who get stuck. It's not about avoiding failure. It's about learning from it and growing stronger. Every failure is a lesson, and every setback is an opportunity to do better. When you own your failures, you also empower yourself to turn them into stepping stones towards success. It's important to realize that owning your actions isn't just about taking responsibility when things go wrong. It's about being proactive. It's about not waiting for permission or for the perfect set of circumstances to take action. When you own your actions, you become self-reliant. You stop waiting for someone to give you the green light, and you start moving forward regardless of the situation. You create your own opportunities. You don't wait for life to come to you. You go out and make things happen. This kind of mindset leads to growth, progress, and ultimately, success. Let me give you a short example to illustrate this point. Imagine you're a salesperson. You've been working hard, but your numbers aren't where you want them to be. You could blame the market, the product, or your clients for not being interested. But instead of making excuses, you take a moment to reflect on your own actions. Maybe you realize that you haven't been following up with leads as consistently as you should have. Or perhaps your pitch could be more tailored to each customer's specific needs. Rather than making excuses, you take ownership of the situation. You make a plan to improve your follow-up system, tweak your pitch, and work on building stronger relationships with clients. Within a few weeks, your sales numbers start to improve. By owning the situation, you take control and ultimately change the outcome. Taking ownership doesn't mean that things will always go perfectly or that you'll never face setbacks. But it does mean that no matter what happens, you remain in control of your future. No one else can dictate your success. Only you can do that. The sooner you stop making excuses and start taking ownership, the faster you'll see results. In the end, it's not about waiting for the right circumstances or blaming the outside world. It's about taking responsibility, making the right decisions, and taking action to move forward. Discipline is often viewed as a restrictive force, something that limits freedom or creativity. However, the truth is that discipline is the very foundation of freedom. It gives you the ability to make decisions based on what you know will get you to your desired outcome, rather than being controlled by impulses, distractions, or the momentary feelings of the day. Discipline isn't about denying yourself what you want in the short term. It's about ensuring that the actions you take today lead to the kind of success, growth, and peace of mind you want in the long term. When you are disciplined, you are in control. You create systems and habits that align with your goals. These systems ensure that you do the work, even when motivation fades or when the road gets tough. In other words, discipline frees you from the chaos of not knowing what to do, and it gives you the structure and stability needed to succeed. It means committing to a plan, sticking to it, and making the right decisions consistently, even when it's not easy or exciting. Without discipline, everything becomes a reaction. You find yourself chasing every distraction, constantly putting out fires, and never making any real progress. Your goals remain distant and out of reach because you lack the focus to consistently move forward. The reality is, when you lack discipline, you give up your freedom. You become a slave to short-term desires, procrastination, and excuses. In this sense, discipline isn't the enemy of freedom, it's the gateway to it. Think of discipline as a way to organize your life, your thoughts, and your actions. It means setting clear priorities and working toward them every day, regardless of how you feel. It's about having the strength to say no to what doesn't serve your long-term vision, and the persistence to continue, even when you don't feel like it. This kind of structure doesn't hold you back. It empowers you to achieve more because it takes the guesswork out of how to spend your time. It gives you the freedom to focus on what really matters. The beauty of discipline is that it works in all areas of life. Whether it's in your fitness routine, your career, or your personal relationships, discipline acts as the anchor that keeps you grounded. For example, in fitness, discipline means showing up at the gym every day, even when you're tired or busy. It's about sticking to your nutrition plan and following through with the commitment to improve. This may not seem like a source of freedom at first, but over time, the results of your discipline, increased strength, energy, and confidence, create a freedom to live a healthier, more active life. You don't have to constantly worry about your health because you've already taken control through your disciplined actions. Let me give you a short example to illustrate this concept. Imagine you're a writer working on a book. At first, the idea of sitting down and writing every day may seem restrictive, like something that takes away your freedom. But over time, the discipline to write daily creates a structure for your creative process. You find that writing becomes easier, your thoughts flow more freely, and you're able to make consistent progress on your book. By committing to the discipline of writing every day, you gain the freedom of completion. Your book is finished, and you're free to share your work with the world. The power of discipline is also seen in the small, consistent actions we take daily. For instance, waking up early to work on a side project, even when your bed feels warm and comfortable, can be the difference between success and stagnation. This simple act of discipline in the morning sets the tone for your day and keeps you on track toward your larger goals. The more disciplined you are, the more you can focus on what really matters, without being swayed by external distractions or the whims of the moment. In summary, discipline isn't about restricting your freedom. It's about creating the conditions for true freedom. It allows you to take control of your life, achieve your goals, and live without the constant stress of having to make decisions in the moment. Through discipline, you gain control, clarity, and the ability to take consistent, focused action that leads to long-term success. It is the freedom to live life on your terms, with no regrets and no wasted time. Hard work is the price of success. It's not a choice, it's a requirement. Too often, people search for shortcuts, easy paths, or the hack that will deliver success without the struggle. They believe that success should be quick and effortless, but the reality is that nothing worthwhile is ever achieved without significant effort. Success demands hard work, persistence, and the willingness to push through when the going gets tough. It's this very work that builds the foundation for progress, growth, and long-term achievement. The most successful people don't get to where they are by taking the easy way out. They put in the hours, make the sacrifices, and do what others are unwilling to do. They embrace hard work because they understand that it is the path to greatness. There is no substitute for effort, no replacement for the time and energy you invest into your goals. Hard work is what separates the dreamers from the doers. It's what turns an idea into a reality. Many people give up too soon because they expect results to come quickly. When they face their first setback, or realize that their progress is slower than anticipated, they begin to doubt themselves and their path. This is where most people fail. They lack the patience, resilience, and endurance required to push through the tough times. They want results without the work, without the struggle, and without the grind. But hard work is a consistent, unwavering commitment to showing up every day, regardless of how you feel or how difficult things become. When you embrace hard work, you develop mental toughness. You train your mind to persevere through discomfort, to keep going even when you're exhausted, and to push past your limitations. Hard work teaches you to find strength in the struggle. It forces you to grow, adapt, and improve. It's through the challenges, the sweat, and the late nights that you build the skills and experience that ultimately lead to success. Hard work doesn't always lead to immediate rewards, but over time, it compounds. The consistent effort you put in day after day, even when no one is watching, pays off in the long run. This is where most people miss the point. Success isn't a one-time event. It's the result of compounded effort. It's the sum of all the small, consistent actions that add up over time. This is why hard work is not just about doing more. It's about doing the right things consistently. You can't just work hard for the sake of it. You need focus, dedication, and intention behind your work. The key to success is to put in the hard work with purpose, direction, and a clear goal in mind. It's about working smart, not just hard, but even the smartest work requires an intense commitment and focus. Let me give you a short example to illustrate this point. Imagine you're an athlete preparing for a major competition. You have the natural talent and potential to succeed, but talent alone won't get you to the top. The best athletes aren't those who rely solely on their abilities. They are the ones who put in the most work behind the scenes. The hours spent training, the repetitions done when others are resting, the sacrifices made to stay focused on the goal. For example, consider a swimmer preparing for the Olympics. While others might be lounging around or taking breaks, they're in the pool every morning, swimming lap after lap, perfecting their technique, and pushing their bodies beyond their limits. It's the hard work, day after day, that allows them to perform at the highest level when it matters most. In the same way, no matter what your goal is, whether it's in business, fitness, academics, or any other area of life, success requires consistent hard work. It's the daily effort, the commitment to improvement, and the willingness to do the hard things that others avoid. When you show up day after day, even when it's tough, you build resilience and momentum that will carry you through the difficult moments. In the end, hard work is not a punishment. It's a privilege. It's the price you pay for achievement. The more work you put in, the more results you'll see, and the closer you'll get to your goal. There are no shortcuts. The only way to reach the top is by doing the work, and doing it consistently. Hard work isn't easy, but it's the only way to truly earn success. So embrace the grind. Push through the obstacles. Keep working, because every ounce of effort you put in brings you one step closer to achieving your dreams. Success isn't achieved through one big effort. It's the result of consistent everyday actions. Consistency is what makes the difference between fleeting achievements and long-term success. It's the ability to show up every day, do the work, and stay committed, regardless of how you feel or the obstacles in your way. This is the key to sustained growth and progress in any area of life. When you commit to consistent effort, you build momentum, sharpen your skills, and strengthen your resolve. Small actions, taken every day, add up over time, and yield results that no one can achieve with short bursts of effort or sporadic commitment. When you're consistent, you eliminate the need for motivation to keep you going. Motivation is powerful, but it's fleeting. Some days you'll wake up full of energy and excitement, but other days you won't feel like doing the work. Consistency isn't dependent on motivation. It's about discipline and commitment. Whether you feel like it or not, you show up and do the work. It's this unwavering dedication that leads to success in the long run. When you continue to push forward, day in and day out, regardless of how you feel, you develop a sense of reliability within yourself. You begin to trust that, no matter what, you will get the job done. This is what separates those who achieve their goals from those who fall short. Consistency also builds trust, not just with others, but with yourself. When you repeatedly show up and do the work, you demonstrate to yourself that you are capable and reliable. This self-trust is invaluable. It gives you the confidence to tackle bigger challenges and pursue more ambitious goals. The more you demonstrate that you can be consistent, the more you prove to yourself that you can handle anything that comes your way. The power of consistency can be seen in many different areas of life, but it's most obvious in areas where incremental progress is key. In fitness, for instance, you won't get in shape by working out intensely for 1 week and then taking the next month off. It's the daily workouts, the consistent effort over time, that yield real results. It's not about having perfect days. It's about showing up day after day, regardless of how you feel, and putting in the work. Those small, seemingly insignificant efforts compound and eventually lead to dramatic transformations. In business, consistency is the foundation of growth. Building a successful business requires consistently delivering value, maintaining relationships with clients or customers, and continuously improving products or services. The most successful entrepreneurs aren't those who make one big move and hope for the best. They are the ones who continually put in the work, day after day, building their brand, their reputation, and their business from the ground up. By staying consistent, even when the results aren't immediate, they lay the groundwork for future success. Consistency also helps to overcome setbacks and challenges. Every successful journey is filled with obstacles and failures, but when you're committed to consistent action, those setbacks don't stop you. Instead, you see them as part of the process. You keep moving forward, knowing that consistent effort over time will eventually yield the results you're aiming for. This attitude shifts your mindset from one of frustration to one of perseverance and patience. A good example of the power of consistency can be found in the story of a professional writer. Let's say you're an aspiring author with a goal of finishing a novel. The first week, you write 500 words a day. The next week, you stay consistent and write another 500 words every day. By the end of a month, you've written over 15,000 words. And by the end of a year, you have an entire manuscript, something that seemed impossible when you started. It's the power of consistent effort, done every single day, that allows you to accomplish a goal that would otherwise feel overwhelming. The key takeaway here is that success isn't about working hard for one big burst of time. It's about the daily consistent effort that over time accumulates and leads to massive results. Each day may feel small, insignificant, or even frustrating, but when you look at the bigger picture, you realize how far you've come. The results of consistent effort are compounded and transformative. You can't always control the outcome, but you can control the process, and by committing to that process, you'll find success, not in the future, but in the consistency of the work you do every single day. At the end of the day, it's simple. You either get it done, or you don't. The world doesn't care about your excuses. Life doesn't care about your reasons. What matters is results. What matters is showing up and doing the work. No excuses, just action. So today, make the choice. Stop talking. Stop making excuses. Get to work. Get it done. Because no one else is going to do it for you. The only one who can stop you from succeeding is you. Get it done. No excuses.